Join me as I dive into the world of DeepSeek AI and put its bias to the test. Let's see if it really lives up to the claims. AI bias has become a critical topic in today's tech-driven world, with many experts and researchers raising concerns about the potential for artificial intelligence to perpetuate and even amplify existing social inequalities. DeepSeek AI, in particular, has been at the center of this conversation, with many wondering whether its algorithms and decision-making processes are truly unbiased. The concerns surrounding DeepSeek AI's potential biases are multifaceted and far-reaching. For instance, some critics argue that the data used to train DeepSeek AI's models may be inherently biased, reflecting the same societal prejudices and discriminatory tendencies that we see in the world around us. This could result in AI-driven decisions that unfairly disadvantage certain groups or individuals. The implications of such biases are severe, with potential consequences ranging from discriminatory hiring practices to biased law enforcement and judicial outcomes. DeepSeek AI's potential biases also have significant implications for issues like freedom of speech and access to information. If the AI is biased towards certain viewpoints or perspectives, it could potentially suppress or censor opposing voices, creating a skewed and unrepresentative online landscape. This, in turn, could have serious consequences for democracy and civic engagement as people become increasingly reliant on AI-driven platforms for news, information, and social interaction. Furthermore, the potential biases in DeepSeek AI's decision-making processes could also have real-world economic consequences. For example, if the AI is biased towards certain industries or businesses, it could lead to unfair competitive advantages and market distortions. This could result in significant economic losses for companies and individuals who are unfairly disadvantaged by the AI's biased decisions. The potential for such biases to affect the economy is particularly concerning given the increasingly prominent role that AI is playing in shaping business and investment decisions. The complexity of the issue is also highlighted by the fact that AI bias can be subtle and difficult to detect. In some cases, biases may be embedded in the AI's algorithms or training data, making them difficult to identify and address. This underscores the need for greater transparency and accountability in AI development, as well as more rigorous testing and evaluation protocols to detect and mitigate potential biases. Different perspectives on AI bias offer a nuanced and multifaceted understanding of the issue. Some experts argue that AI bias is an inevitable consequence of the data-driven approach to AI development, where algorithms are trained on vast amounts of data that reflect the complexities and prejudices of the real world. Others contend that AI bias can be addressed through more diverse and representative training data, as well as more sophisticated algorithms and testing protocols. For instance, some researchers have proposed using techniques like data preprocessing and algorithmic auditing to detect and mitigate biases in AI systems. The perspectives of experts and researchers are also informed by studies and examples of biases in other AI systems. For example, studies have shown that facial recognition AI can be biased towards certain racial and ethnic groups, resulting in inaccurate and discriminatory outcomes. Similarly, natural language processing AI has been shown to reflect and amplify existing social biases with potentially serious consequences for issues like hate speech and online harassment. These examples highlight the need for a more comprehensive and nuanced approach to addressing AI bias, one that takes into account the complexities and challenges of the issue. Moreover, the issue of AI bias is not limited to DeepSeek AI or any single AI system. Rather, it reflects a broader set of concerns and challenges that are inherent to the development and deployment of AI technologies. As AI becomes increasingly ubiquitous and influential in our lives, it is essential that we develop a more nuanced and informed understanding of the potential risks and biases associated with these technologies. This in turn will require a more collaborative and interdisciplinary approach to AI development, one that brings together experts from a wide range of fields and disciplines to address the complexities and challenges of AI bias. Expert opinions and studies have also shed light on the potential consequences of AI bias, highlighting the need for more rigorous testing and evaluation protocols to detect and mitigate potential biases. For instance, some researchers have proposed using techniques like adversarial testing and adversarial training to improve the robustness and fairness of AI systems. Others have advocated for more transparent and accountable AI development practices, including the use of explainable AI and model interpretability techniques to provide insights into AI decision-making processes. The most compelling evidence regarding DeepSeek AI's bias suggests that the issue is more complex and nuanced than initially thought. While some studies have raised concerns about potential biases in DeepSeek AI's decision-making processes, others have found that the AI is capable of making fair and unbiased decisions in certain contexts. For example, a recent study found that DeepSeek AI was able to detect and mitigate biases in certain types of data, resulting in more accurate and fair outcomes. However, the same study also noted that the AI's performance was highly dependent on the quality and diversity of the training data, highlighting the need for more rigorous testing and evaluation protocols to ensure fairness and accuracy. Moreover, the evidence suggests that DeepSeek AI's bias is not a fixed or inherent property of the AI itself, but rather a dynamic and context-dependent issue that can vary depending on the specific application and use case. This underscores the need for more nuanced and contextualized approaches to addressing AI bias, ones that take into account the specific challenges and complexities of each particular use case. By adopting such an approach, we can work towards developing more fair, transparent, and accountable AI systems that reflect the values and principles of fairness and equity. The evidence also highlights the importance of human oversight and intervention in AI decision-making processes. While AI can be a powerful tool for automating and streamlining certain tasks, it is ultimately up to humans to ensure that the AI is making fair and unbiased decisions. This requires a more collaborative and interdisciplinary approach to AI development, one that brings together experts from a wide range of fields and disciplines to address the complexities and challenges of AI bias. By working together, we can develop more robust and effective solutions to the issue of AI bias and ensure that AI is used in ways that benefit society as a whole. In addition, the evidence suggests that addressing AI bias will require a fundamental transformation of the way we approach AI development and deployment. This will involve a shift towards more transparent and accountable AI development practices, as well as a greater emphasis on fairness, equity, and social responsibility. It will also require a more nuanced and informed understanding of the potential risks and biases associated with AI, as well as a willingness to engage with and address these challenges in a proactive and collaborative way. By adopting such an approach, we can work towards developing more fair, transparent, and accountable AI systems that reflect the values and principles of fairness and equity. The discussion around DeepSeek AI and AI bias has highlighted the complexities and challenges of the issue. The concerns surrounding DeepSeek AI's potential biases are multifaceted and far-reaching, with significant implications for issues like freedom of speech, access to information, and economic fairness. The evidence has also underscored the need for more nuanced and contextualized approaches to addressing AI bias, ones that take into account the specific challenges and complexities of each particular use case. By adopting such an approach, we can work towards developing more fair, transparent, and accountable AI systems that reflect the values and principles of fairness and equity. So, what do you think about AI bias and DeepSeek AI? Do you think it's a major concern or just a minor issue? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to check out our other videos for more in-depth discussions on AI, technology, and society. We'd love to hear your thoughts and engage with you on this important topic, and we'll see you in the next video.